Hello everybody, this is Redstone CPU, and this is the tutorial for my simple and easy to build sand generator. Each module is cheap and works independently of the others, so you can build as many as you want, up to 4. Each module produces 3 sand a second, totaling up to 12 sand per second per end portal. They also trigger individually, meaning you can turn on each one, or you can only have one on if you want. Alright, so the way this thing works is that whenever a sand block doesn't see any block beneath it, so when there's air beneath it, it'll basically create a sand entity, and then it'll delete the block. And once the sand entity lands on a block, what happens is the sand entity will create a new block at its location, and then delete the sand entity. So basically we're exploiting this mechanic. The sand block is being shoved right onto this block right here, just barely lined up against this end portal frame, or lined up against this end portal block. And then once the sand entity lands, it lands the same second that it creates the block, and basically we're removing the sand entity from the overworld before it can delete itself. So basically what we're doing is keeping both the block and the entity that forms. So that's how the sand generator works. And we're going to go ahead and jump straight into the tutorial. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead, find yourself an end portal, and defeat the dragon. This is obviously a given since you need the end portal to make this farm. So what you're going to do next is we're going to remove the end portal frames. So this is actually pretty easy in the current version, 1.16.2, but eventually you will need to find a different version because this might be patched out in the future. So what we're going to do is go ahead, come out 1, 2, and then just drop the block down. We're going to be using mycelium, a red mushroom, and some bone meal. So we're going to be growing this red mushroom into the end portal frames, and it'll replace the end portal frames with the red mushroom block. So let's go ahead and do that. And as you see, the portal frame is gone. This works as of 1.16.2, and you will need to find a different method if this version becomes patched in the future. Alright, so once you've done that, your end portal should look like this. It's just going to be the portal blocks themselves floating without any frames. Block updates won't remove these, so don't worry. What we're going to do now is come underneath. You'll see that it's transparent. Don't worry about that. Just try to find the block outlines. And we're just going to place blocks beneath them. There we go. And then we're going to want to place one block on the side and come out 2 with leaves. Should look something like this. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get some sand, place it right here, put some slime right up here, and 2 sticky pistons, like such. Next up, we're going to go ahead and get a block, put it right here, diagonal to the slime, and then we're going to go ahead and put a block right here with redstone on it. Get obsidian, put that right here. Go ahead and get a repeater, put another block diagonal like this, repeater coming out of that with 2 ticks, and a block right here. Basically, if we were to just get a lever to test it, it should look something like this. And it should retract automatically. Next up, being careful not to enter the end, we're going to go ahead and place 1 block here, 1 block here, and 1 block on top. We're just going to be using these for scaffolding. Then we're going to place upside down sticky pistons like such. Next up, we're going to go ahead and come out 1 block like this, diagonal to that, diagonal to that, and then diagonal like this, So you have a T shape right here, and then diagonal, and 2 blocks like this. So, next up, we're going to put a repeater on 4 ticks, repeater on 1, redstone dust right here, block right here. Going to go ahead and put our lever here. Next, we're going to get our comparator, put it on subtract mode. Then we're going to go ahead and get a repeater right here, get a torch, block, another torch on the side of this block. Then we're going to go ahead and put a block on the side of the torch, a block on top of the torch, and a block against this sticky piston right here. We're going to go ahead and get our repeater, put this on 3 ticks, go ahead and get a slab of any type. Just go ahead and place it against these right here, and get our redstone dust. Next, we're going to go ahead and get buttons, and we're going to go ahead and place them on the sticky pistons that are up against the slabs. This just goes ahead and redirects the redstone pointing into the pistons. The reason we have slabs here is because these pistons will extend, and we don't want them getting bud powered by full blocks right above here. So yeah, if we just go ahead and test it, it should work. When you turn it off, don't worry, that will happen sometimes. It won't break the machine. You just go ahead and flick the lever again real quick, and it should just return to its default state. Now we're just going to go ahead and repeat the same step, but 3 more times. Alright, so once you've done it and you've built all the modules you want to, it should look something like this. Alright, so now that we're in the end, we're going to go ahead and bring the wall out a little bit more, so that way we have some more room to work with. Alright, so next up, we're going to go ahead and come down to this obsidian platform, find the middle, just mark it out for now, and come out, break this block right here, break the block beneath it, put a hopper. I'm going to go do the same thing for each side, break, break, hopper, and then what we're going to go ahead and do is put carpet on top of that hopper, so that way it breaks the sand that lands on it. Next up, we're going to go ahead and just mine out a little bit more so we have more room to work with. Just go ahead and punch out 1, 2, go ahead and put your chest. And just go ahead and do that for each side. 1, 2, chest. 1, 2, chest. And 1, 2, chest. You can expand this more if you want to, but for the time being, we're only just going to do a single chest just for the sake of the tutorial. But yeah, that should be the project over. So we're just going to go ahead and head over to the overworld, activate the sand generator, and watch it work. So you will need to go ahead and have this sand generator loaded, probably by portal loading, or if you can't do that, you're going to want to have another player just loading it in the overworld. But if you just go ahead and enter the end, we'll see the sand getting picked up. Oh, one last thing. We're going to want to go ahead and get extra blocks right here, so that way the sand doesn't jump out. Like such. And now, as you see, the sand is just entering the chests. So yeah, that's going to be it for the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this gets some use in your survival worlds. So anyways, that's going to be it for me for now. My name is Redstone CPU. Catch you later.